Welcome to You Talk. I'm Paige Turner, school counselor at Noble Middle School. Our show is all about the middle school student. We leave no stone unturned: testing, bullying, dating, stress, and so much more. Joining me each month is a knowledgeable panel of middle school students ready to discuss the issues and tackle the tough questions. In addition to your questions, we'll learn all about teen court, and we play a game called Rumor Control. But first, we kick off our show with some Q&A featuring questions on a variety of topics from middle schools throughout the school system that our panel of students are ready to answer. No question is too tough, no topic is too difficult. All right, panelists, here's question number 1. I've been having trouble in math class and we had a final exam. I looked at my friend's test and my teacher saw me. I'm worried about my parents finding out and getting in trouble for plagiarism. What can I do?
I think you should be honest with them and tell your math teacher and your parents that you were having trouble with the schoolwork and the school load and you didn't really know how to answer the questions, and maybe you can get tutoring and maybe even retake the test, because I know that teachers, they should be flexible if you own up to it.
Mm-hmm. So being honest, you feel like is the best thing to do?
I agree with that. You
Yeah.
shouldn't have cheated on the test, and you should have gotten tutoring before.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you've already done it, you should try to tell your teacher, or just say, I did this, it's my mistake, and I'll do anything to fix it. Maybe give her, tell her to give you a completely different test. Just like find out some way to make up for your wrong.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And what if the teacher says, sorry, you're going to get a 0 in this test, and there's
That
nothing
was
I
your
can
mistake.
do about.
Yeah.
I mean, you
shouldn't
have
have
to
done
own
it.
up to that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then even if so, there's always extra credit that you can do so that you can make up the grade for the test.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I agree with you guys. I think being honest, and some teachers may, give you a second chance for being honest. Some teachers might be pretty strict about, 0 tolerance for plagiarism, and actually that's not plagiarism, it's cheating, and I think that's, it's always a good practice to be honest, regardless of what the consequences will be. Do you guys feel like that's a big problem in middle school, is cheating?
Yes.
Yes. Some
Yeah.
students just can't do things by themselves.
Yeah.
And so they think that if they can't do it, then other people can. And so they go and they look at other people's stuff, see if they can do it.
Yeah.
And then they just take all their answers because they don't want to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Some people have been handed the opportunity to get everything, and then whenever they think that everything will be handed to them in life, then whenever it's not, they just can't handle it.
Yeah, they can't do it. And from what I hear, high school is certainly much more strict. I mean, middle school is too, but the opportunities for second chances and extra credit and things like that, I think, are less of a chance in high school than they are in middle school. So learning those tough lessons now, I think, is really important as you get into high school, and it counts for college and on your transcript and stuff. So, all right, so that's good. Honesty is the best policy. All right, question number 2. I'm not afraid of a lot, but I'm afraid of being alone, intruders, ghosts, and bad things happening to my family. I can't be the only one awake, or I will not sleep at all. In fact, I usually have to distract myself with a book until I can't hold my eyes open anymore. In fact, one time I stayed awake 2 nights in a row. It is not that I'm not tired, because I am. I have not had a full night's sleep in a long time. Please help. What do you think about this one?
Well, maybe if you're having trouble being by yourself and just having trouble sleeping and it's affecting that, then you should try having something to keep you company, a pet like a dog or just something, so that you don't feel lonely whenever you are alone in your house. And it should be easier to sleep if you do that.
Maybe you should get some counseling to figure out why you're having these lonely issues, why you can't go to sleep, why it's affecting your brain that way.
And one of my questions might be, has something bad happened? Has someone tried to break into the house, or or have they seen something in the news, or that's just kind of stuck with them? And it sounds like a lot of it is just kind of those negative thoughts. And I think the counseling piece, especially if this happens for a long period of time, I think you're right, Emily. I think counseling might be a good option.
There's also different techniques you can use to fall asleep, and now like sleeping pills wouldn't be the way to go, but I know that there are some like herbal teas that you can drink that help you fall asleep, or try and do more relaxing things towards bedtime. And also, if you know that things like the idea of someone breaking into your house or stuff like that scares you and you don't want to go to sleep, then you need to try and avoid that. And the idea of reading a book is good, but you can't sort of read it all night. You need to limit
Right, because
yourself.
some people will stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning reading a book they don't want to put down. So yeah, absolutely, those are good suggestions. What were you going to say, Peyton?
A good way is also if you have like friends, if you have a phone or if you have an email, you can always talk to them. Or a good way is that before you go to sleep, you watch a show that you think is really funny and it gets your mind off it. And it just helps you go to sleep, especially like Henry said, if you drink tea or something like that.
Yeah. So do some relaxing things that will kind of distract your mind from thinking about those negative thoughts. Absolutely. All right, let's look at the next one. This person says, I work so hard and get good grades. However, I usually stay up all night doing homework. I can get about 6 or 7 hours of sleep, but nonetheless, I'm still working on my homework at 11 o'clock. It's not that it takes me that long. I don't have trouble with it, but I feel like I'm getting so much work. Other than starting my homework as soon as I get home from school, how can I manage my time?
My question would be, what time are you actually starting your homework? Because if you're starting at 6 o'clock and you get home at 3, then you're not spending your time wisely. You should have started at like 3:30. Take a break when you get home from school and then start on your homework. But waiting for 3 hours, then you will have that stay up time where you have to be up late.
Right, absolutely.
And also, if you are starting it, like taking that break, but you are starting it and you're doing it in a timely manner, if you're staying up till 11, then you're obviously struggling with some aspect of it. And you should probably talk to your teachers and talk to your parents about that, just to make sure that they're all on the same page about how much homework you are getting.
Right. And one of my questions is, you know, does this person have their phone? Do they have, you know, their, computer? Do they have their iPad? What do they have? Do they have electronics with them that are distracting them while they're doing their work?
It's easy to get distracted without realizing it.
Absolutely. So you may be sitting down thinking that you're spending all this time on your work, but if you actually focused on how much time you're actually spending doing the work, it may not be that long. So
You can always take little breaks in between homework, like say 30 minutes of working on it and then like 5 minutes on your phone reading or doing something that you enjoy. So you can always have time for both, or you can get a planner and write down everything you need to do and then organize. It's probably just they have a bad time at organizing their schedule.
Yeah. Like, I would get in a quiet room that you can actually focus in rather than going in your living room where everybody walks by, your like pets are, and things that would distract you and things like that. It's just better to go in a quiet room.
yes. So it sounds like you guys have some really good suggestions for this person, and maybe actually using a timer to actually time, like how much time am I focusing on, this work, and then like Peyton said, setting a timer. I'm taking a 5-minute break to be in my electronics, So there's certainly some suggestions that I think this person might be able to use for sure. So thank you guys so much. That wraps up You Talk Q&A. If you're a middle school student with a question you'd like our panel to discuss, there are several ways to submit that question. First, you can drop the question off to your school counselor or social worker. 2, you can email it to nhcs-tv@ec.rr.com. Or 3, use good old-fashioned mail by sending your question to NHCS TV, UTalk, 1802 South 15th Street, Wilmington, North Carolina, 28401. Now coming up in our next segment, Jonathan talks with our special guest, the coordinator of the Teen Court program in New Hanover County Schools. Don't go away.
Settle down. Class, settle down. John, will you please come to the board?
What did he eat for breakfast? Are you gonna drink that orange juice?
A well-rounded school breakfast including whole grains, dairy, protein, and juice or fruit helps kids perform better in the classroom. Breakfast, the best start to their day.
Welcome back to You Talk. Teen Court is a real justice program run by teens for teens. Juveniles ages 12 through 17 who have committed a misdemeanor crime appear before a jury of their peers. The crime is generally a first offense, and the respondent must admit involvement since this is a disposition or sentencing hearing only. With more details on just how the program is run in New Hanover County, here is Jonathan.
Today I'm sitting down with Sheila Evans, coordinator with Teen Court. Today she's going to tell us about the program and how it benefits the youth in our area. Welcome, Ms. Evans.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions about Teen Court. Can you give us an overview of what Teen Court is?
Well, Teen Court is an alternative justice system for first-time offenders, and I'll talk about middle school. We have a high school program called Teen Court and the middle school version called Youth Court. I mix them up all the time because I run both programs, but we'll talk about middle school here today since that's why we're here. It keeps students from getting a juvenile record, so they will have no criminal record if they're a first-time offender, and your school resource officer or Wilmington Police Department, sometimes juvenile court, will send the cases to us, and that way we act out a sentencing trial. I kind of like to call it student by student or for student by student. It's for the students, but you students take on all the courtroom roles. So it's a pretty cool program.
What type of cases are heard in the court? Could you give us some examples?
I sure can. Probably the biggest one we get is simple affray. That's the legal term for a fight where both parties are involved. We get simple assault, where one person touches another, not both of you participate. We get some larceny, people stealing some stuff, shoplifting, communicating threats, some cyberbullying, online stuff, Facebook stuff that you shouldn't be saying. What else? Disorderly conduct at school. Most of our referrals come from school resource officers.
How are students selected for their role in the courtroom?
We start out slow. We have had 2 trainings already this year. We'll have 2 in the spring. But I like folks to start out as jurors. You don't need any experience to do that. You just sit in the box and you listen to the case like everyone else. Then sometimes you slide into the clerk role or the bailiff, and then eventually the attorney role. We do have a training. A lot of times I will even partner newer students with students that have been around a little bit longer, or even some of the high school students, so they gain some exposure. I don't really force anybody to be an attorney, but there's a lot of kids that just naturally progress into that role.
How are students prepared for their role?
Well, like I said, we do have an attorney training. I am so blessed to have a retired school teacher from New York come and do my trainings because it's not something I particularly like to do. But he's really good at it. It usually takes about 2 hours. We did have one September 30th. I'll probably plan one right after first semester ends, probably for February. And again, mentoring, being with other students that have done it for several years, or even with the middle school, I might bring high schoolers over and sit with you guys and help you along.
What are the benefits to the student volunteers and defendants?
Well, to the student volunteers, it's a great time to show that you care about your community. There aren't a whole lot of things out there that you really get to directly serve jury duty or some civic duty like that. Public speaking, you got to think on your feet. You are asking questions of the defendant. You've got to listen to their answers. You've got to listen to what the prosecutor asks if you're the defense attorney, and vice versa. So thinking on your feet, public speaking, showing that you care for your community for the the volunteer side. For the defendants, probably the most important thing in my book is keeping that juvenile record clean. It gives them a chance to give back and make good for the wrong that they did. And then they kind of get a mentoring piece. They're around a lot of kids that are doing this as volunteers, and they eventually have to do jury duty and sit next to those kind of kids. So it's kind of a threefold that way as well.
Could you tell us how interested students can get involved?
The easiest thing to remember probably is my phone number, and it's 362-8000. The laziest way is just Google New Hanover Teen Court, and the ADR Center should come up. So that would be 2 ways. I am in district court. If kids are interested in being attorneys, it's a wonderful way to actually see if you want to do it. We hold our trials in the real courthouse. We're on the 3rd floor. Our trials start at 6 o'clock. I ask volunteers to come at 5:30. And like I said, one other thing I missed completely for the defendants, the most important thing for the defendants, they have to admit they're guilty. They have to accept responsibility for what they've done. Their parents do have to be involved, basically getting them back and forth to where they need to be. They have to be first-time offenders, and they have to be in school. So if they come to me and they're like, I didn't do it, that kind of thing, it's not what Teen Court is set up for. It's for folks that are owning up to their responsibility and want a second chance. Some of the things, the sanctions is what we call them, the punishments, if you will, that happen. Everyone has to do community service, and it ranges anywhere from 4 hours to 20 hours depending on your offense, and everybody has to do jury duty. So you return the next month, maybe the next 2 months depending on your charge, to take your turn on someone else's case. Then we have some optional sanctions. You might have to write an essay, I don't know, if it's a shoplifting, how shoplifting, hurts all of us because they kind of add that into the price of goods and such. You might have to write an apology, maybe to the person you hit, maybe to the teacher whose classroom it happened in, maybe to your mom or dad for putting them through this whole process, maybe the store where you stole from. So we have that essay piece, the apology piece. We do have these things called educational seminars, and they're basically online classes, and they have them for drugs and alcohol and for shoplifting, anger management. We kind of have a workbook. And if something's broken, you got into a fight and you broke somebody's phone, we would have a restitution part in there where the folks get paid back for what's been damaged. Then there's actually an other category. It doesn't happen very often, but if the student jurors come up with something they want to order to the defendant without, they will have to come in and share it with myself, or my judges are usually real attorneys.
I would like to thank my guest, Ms. Sheila Evans, for talking with us today about Teen Court. For UTalk, I'm Jonathan. Now back to our panel.
Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, guys, what are your thoughts about the Teen Court program?
I think it's a pretty good thing for students to be able to see what they've done and see what they've done wrong and be able to fix it, and they won't be harshly punished for it, such as going to juvenile jail, or just they get the second chance almost. And it's good because it's teens for teens, so that it's a better thing so that teens know what they've been going through and they can almost help them.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity for not only the people who are being punished, but also for the people who are sitting in the jury and doing the attorney role, because it gives both of them a chance to not only give back to their community, but also do some good volunteer work and realize what they've done wrong and how they can better, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah.
I think it's a great program for people to own up to their responsibilities without having to go to jail or go to juvie, which is on their record forever. And it's a way that you can see what it's going to be like whenever you grow up. And if you were to commit this crime, there would be much harsher punishments. So right now you get to figure out what you need to fix in your life.
Absolutely. I think it gives the students a chance to correct their wrongs. We talked about that earlier in the Q&A, like having a second chance and, making a better or different choice next time. And I definitely agree that I think it gives them that opportunity. Also, I think it might be great for students that are interested in possibly pursuing a career in law, or, being a judge or being a lawyer. That might be a good place for them to volunteer to just kind of get a taste of what it might be like to be in that role, So definitely some good things there. Any other thoughts about the Teen Court program?
I agree that it does help you learn how it's going to be like when you're older, and if you do want a career in that, it will be good for that. And since you are getting judged by your peers, they will know you and they will know how you usually are, so it can really help if you just made a mistake. And since it's not on your record, it can just let you own up to your mistakes, but it won't make you feel guilty really afterwards for the rest of your life being on your record.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. I think it's a great program, and we certainly encourage students to go volunteer. Now don't go away. Coming up next, we play a game called Rumor Control.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Welcome back to U-Talk. Okay, contestants, rumors are running amok in your school, and it's affecting the school spirit. It is your job to do some rumor control. We have a list of 28 rumors. Dangerous rumors can lead to bad decisions where people make big mistakes or even get hurt. If you think a rumor is bad, then you should send it to the principal's office. Some of our rumors are also hurtful rumors. These can really damage somebody's feelings or reputation. If you think it is a hurtful rumor, then the correct answer is trash it. Finally, some of our rumors are harmless and are just kind of funny and won't hurt anyone. With these rumors, the correct answer is harmless. Let it pass. Each of you has a colored paddle in front of you. The first paddle I see raised after the question is asked gets a chance to answer. If that contestant gets the correct answer, they get a point. If they get it wrong, then the contestant directly across from them gets a chance to answer. If neither contestant gets it right, I'll give the correct answer. So one more time. For dangerous rumors, the correct answer is principal's office. For hurtful rumors, the correct answer is trash it. And harmless rumors, let it pass. Okay, contestants, here we go with our first rumor. Taylor smells bad. Emily.
Trash it.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Number 2, that new kid in class failed 4th grade 3 times. Lily.
Trash it.
Trash it, yes. Number 3, the assistant principal used to be in a rock band called the Weirdos. Emily.
Pass it.
Let it pass, yes, that is a harmless rumor. Number 4, Charlie and Cindy are dating. Henry.
Trash it.
Nope. So the person right across. Lily.
Let it pass.
Let it pass.
I forget.
Number 5, Bubble Yum chewing gum has spider eggs in it. Lily.
Let it pass.
Yes, harmless. Let it pass. Number 6, Samantha had a party and one showed up. Emily.
Trash it.
Trash it. It's hurtful. Number 7, Amy's going to beat Maria up after school. Peyton.
Principal's office?
Principal's office. That one's dangerous. Number 8, Teresa cheats off of whoever sits near her. Emily.
Trash it.
Nope. Peyton.
Principal's office?
Principal's office. Cheating's pretty serious. Number 9, the cafeteria meatloaf is made from rats they catch in the school basement. Henry.
Let it pass.
Let it pass. Number 10, anyone who fails Mr. Masser's history test is going to repeat the class this summer. Lily.
Let it pass.
Yes, let it pass. It's harmless. Number 11, Jordan brought his dad's razor to school. Henry.
Principal's office.
Principal's office. Dangerous. Number 12, we're all bringing squirt guns to school on Friday and shooting any 6th grader wearing red. Emily.
Principal's office.
Principal's office. That's dangerous. Number 13, Austin's going to try to break into the cafeteria soda machine and steal all the money inside. Peyton.
Principal's office?
Principal's office. Number 14, Jake challenged Andrew to eat the wild mushrooms growing on the baseball field. Henry.
Office.
Principal's office. That's dangerous. Yes. All right. Number 15, Jamie's big brother hits him because he has to take him to school every day. Emily.
Principal's office.
This is hurtful. Trash it. It could be principal's office, but we're going to go with what it says on here. Yeah. Number 16, Mackenzie spent the night at Katie's house and said that Katie wet the bed. Lily.
Trash it.
Trash it. It's hurtful. Number 17, Sarah thinks Marissa is fat and stupid, and that's why she didn't invite her to her party. Henry.
Trash it.
Trash it. Hurtful. Number 18, you can make a really cool fire torch if you blow a spray can into a match. Lily.
Principal's office.
Principal's office. Dangerous. Number 19, Lindsay had to stop her riding lessons because she got too fat for the horses. Peyton.
Trash it?
Trash it. Hurtful. These are really hurtful. Number 20, Hosea is going to try driving her dad's car tonight after her parents go to sleep. I didn't see who raised it, so Henry.
Principal's office.
Principal's office. Number 21, Riley's mother used to be in jail. Emily.
Let it pass.
Nope. So, Peyton?
Trash it.
Trash it. Hurtful. Number 22. Mr. Johns has a steel plate in his head and he twitches when he gets too close to magnets. Lily?
Let it pass.
Let it pass. Harmless. 23. The school toilet paper is made out of old math test. Henry?
Let it pass.
Let it pass. Harmless. 24. Linda is planning to hack the school computers to change everyone's grades. Henry?
Principal's office.
Principal's office. Dangerous. 25. Tori and Ava said they were going to beat Lissa up, so she brought a knife to school today. Lily?
Principal's office.
Principal's office. Dangerous. 26. Celia never eats lunch or dinner, and that's why she's so skinny. Emily?
Principal's office.
Principal's office. 27. Jake and Andrew got caught shoplifting at the mall last weekend. Peyton?
Principal's office. Wait, no.
What's your final answer?
Trash it.
Trash is what it says, but if we're talking about shoplifting, I feel like that might need to be a principal's office. But it says trash it, so you got that right. 28. Mark stole a craft knife from art class. Lily?
Principal's office.
Principal's office. 29. Jane is going to give Chuck a tattoo with ink she stole from art class. Henry?
Principal's office.
Principal's office. 30. I think we said 28, but we're going to keep going. The assistant principal said they are going to build a pool on the gym roof. Henry?
Let it pass.
Let it pass. Harmless. And the last one, 31. The new kid failed the 6th grade twice. Peyton?
Trash it.
Trash it. Hurtful.
I'm working
All
up
right.
a sweat.
Very, very good. And so the winner would be, oh man, there's a tie.
We tied.
Henry and Lily tied.
Good
Very,
game.
very good. Very good. All right. We hope you have enjoyed this edition of UTalk. If you missed any part of this program, then check us out online at www.nhcs.net and click on the video library link found on the school system's webpage. I'm Paige Turner. On behalf of the entire UTalk panel, thanks for watching. We hope you'll submit questions to our show and tune in again next month for an all-new episode of UTalk.